Buying furniture for your business can be full of compromises, confusing choices, and little support. National Business Furniture is here to change all of that. We believe that every business deserves furniture that lasts, service that cares, and a partner who gets it at a budget that works. At National Business Furniture, that's our commitment to you. Find the right furniture for you and your team at National Business Furniture. Visit nbf.com and use promo code POD10 to save 10% now.
Security program on spreadsheets, new regulations piling up, and audit dread? It's time for Vanta. Vanta automates security and compliance, brings evidence into one place, and cuts audit prep by 82%. Less manual work, clearer visibility, faster deals, zero chaos. Call it compliance or call it compliance. Get it? Join the 15,000 companies using Vanta to prove trust. Go to vanta.com/com.
On today's Smart 7, Morgan McSweeney takes the stand, King Charles addresses the US Congress, and much more. It's Wednesday 29th of April, it's Guide Dog Day, and happy birthday, Uma Thurman.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Tuesday saw another episode of the Mandelson scandal unfold as the Foreign Affairs Committee under Dame Emily Thornberry continued its inquiry into the vetting process for the former UK ambassador to the US. The man in the hot seat on Tuesday was the Prime Minister's former Chief of Staff, Morgan McSweeney, and the person who was responsible for the vetting and appointment process. He resigned from his post in February, but was happy to appear at the committee and outline his role in the affair. He admitted to wanting the ambassador in post as soon as possible, but said he never pressured the Foreign Office over the vetting process.
The appointment of Mandelson as ambassador was a serious error of judgment. I advised the Prime Minister in support of that appointment, and I was wrong to do so.
Tory leader Kemi Badenoch had been trying to force a new inquiry, this time by the Cross-Party Privileges Committee, with a brief to see if the Prime Minister had misled Parliament. However, despite her efforts, only 14 Labour MPs voted with the opposition.
Would they rather be on the side of Peter Mandelson, of convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein, on the side of the man who sacked Sir Chris Wormald, sacked Sir Ollie Robbins, Sue Gray? Is that what they came to Parliament for?
King Charles and Queen Camilla continued their official state visit to the US on Tuesday with a formal welcome from President Trump at the White House. The King is in the US to mark 250 years of American independence, but the US President clearly hadn't read the memo which said, "Don't mention the war."
He's a very elegant man. Here in the shadows of monuments to George Washington, honoring the British King might seem an ironic beginning to our celebration of 250 years of American independence. But in fact, no tribute could be more appropriate.
After that awkward moment, there was an Oval Office meeting behind closed doors, which included Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio and UK Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper. The King then departed for Capitol Hill, where he addressed a joint session of Congress in an historic moment, as only one British monarch has previously done so, and that was Queen Elizabeth II in 1991 at the time of the Gulf War. His speech was well received and included a call for NATO to support Ukraine and a reflection on the 250-year relationship between the US and the UK.
America's words carry weight and meaning, as they have since independence. The actions of this great nation matter even more. On your 250th birthday, let our two countries rededicate ourselves to each other in the selfless service of our peoples and of all the peoples of the world.
The Strait of Hormuz remained blockaded on Tuesday by both America and Iran, but a super yacht owned by Russian oligarch Alexei Mordashov was apparently able to sail through it over the weekend. Mordashov is a close ally of Vladimir Putin, and it demonstrates the confused world order that we seem to be living in. There was no sign of any progress on the deadlock between the US and Iran, but President Trump did lash out at the German Chancellor after Friedrich Merz claimed that the US has been humiliated by Iran. At a UN Security Council meeting, Secretary General Antonio Guterres was calling for cool heads all round and a reopening of the crucial waterway.
I appeal to the parties. Open the strait. Let ships pass. No tolls. No discrimination. Let trade resume. Let the global economy breathe.
The local elections take place next Thursday, and while Labour and the Tories have been struggling in the polls, Lib Dem leader Sir Ed Davey is quietly optimistic that his party can cut through the chaos and pick up more seats. That doesn't entirely match up with the latest polling, which shows both Reform and the Greens with most of the momentum as election day approaches. So on Tuesday, Sir Ed took to BBC local radio to try and land some of the key messages for the Lib Dems, that his candidates will be listeners and local champions, and that social care would continue to be a priority for his party.
By the end of this Parliament, having become the largest third party for 100 years, I think we're one of the two biggest parties in local government. That will put us right at the centre of British politics ahead of the next election.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, in association with Metro, a 9-goal thriller in the Champions League, and get ready for maximum pleasure guaranteed. Right after this.
Buying furniture for your business can be full of compromises, confusing choices, and little support. National Business Furniture is here to change all of that. We believe that every business deserves furniture that lasts, service that cares, and a partner who gets it at a budget that works. At National Business Furniture, that's our commitment to you. Find the right furniture for you and your team at National Business Furniture. Visit nbf.com and use promo code POD10 to save 10% now.
Security program on spreadsheets, new regulations piling up, and audit dread? It's time for Vanta. Vanta automates security and compliance, brings evidence into one place, and cuts audit prep by 82%. Less manual work, clearer visibility, faster deals, zero chaos. Call it compliance or call it compliance. Get it? Join the 15,000 companies using Vanta to prove trust. Go to vanta.com/calm.
Welcome back. This week's European football semi-final action kicked off with the first leg of the Champions League semi between French champions PSG and German champions Bayern Munich. Wednesday will see Arsenal face Atletico Madrid, and Thursday sees Europa League and Conference League action. Bayern Munich travelled to Paris for the first leg, and the game turned out to be a 9-goal thriller, which finished 5-4 to the French side, giving them a narrow advantage for the trip to Germany next week. Harry Kane scored a penalty for Bayern, but he wasn't blaming the goalkeepers for the scoreline.
Even though there's 9 goals scored today, I think there was amazing defending throughout the game. You've got the best players in the world going at it, the best attackers, the best defenders. Of course, sometimes the attackers are going to come out on top.
Monday night saw George Clooney honoured at the Lincoln Center in New York. He was presented with the Chaplin Award for Film during an evening that celebrated his life and career on television and in film. Guest presenters included his former ER co-star Julianne Margulies, along with John Turturro and Sam Rockwell. There was also a video message from Matt Damon, who's been in a remarkable 6 different movies with Clooney. The evening, which took place only 2 days after the latest assassination attempt on Donald Trump, inspired George to share his feelings on free speech and the talk of heated political rhetoric.
I don't expect people to all agree with me. They shouldn't. We should argue about some of these things vigorously. I believe that every individual has the right to speak their own mind. And you can't demand freedom of speech and say, but don't say bad things about me.
Some TV shows seem to set out to create titles that are somewhat problematic to Google. I'm looking at you, Beef, and The Bear, and of course the brand new show, Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed. That's a new dark comedy series coming to Apple TV, which features Emmy winner Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black and Jake Johnson of New Girl fame. It tells the story of a woman whose world gets turned upside down when she witnesses a webcam kidnapping. Is it a scam? Is it real? You'll just have to watch to find out when the first 2 episodes drop on May 20th.
Hello? They kidnapped me. They're gonna kill me.
I know it's a scam.
We know everything. Your job, your ex, your daughter. We can destroy your life.
What do I do?
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
Buying furniture for your business can be full of compromises, confusing choices, and little support. National Business Furniture is here to change all of that. We believe that every business deserves furniture that lasts, service that cares, and a partner who gets it at a budget that works. At National Business Furniture, that's our commitment to you. Find the right furniture for you and your team at National Business Furniture. Visit nbf.com and use promo code POD10 to save 10% now.
Security program on spreadsheets, new regulations piling up, and audit dread? It's time for Vanta. Vanta automates security and compliance, brings evidence into one place, and cuts audit prep by 82%. Less manual work, clearer visibility, faster deals, zero chaos. Call it compliance or call it compliance. Get it? Join the 15,000 companies using Vanta to prove trust. Go to vanta.com/com.